so professional that they can work on something they don't care about. They can spend 3 months working on a project, motivated by salary and paying their bills and all that. And I always feel somewhat unprofessional in that I can't do that. I can only take on projects, and we, Happy Cog, as an agency, and we all agree to this, and we all made this decision together, we can only take on projects that we believe in. People are doing something that we think is, at the very least, does no harm, but in more probably, people who are doing some good in the world or creating something very interesting or new. We have to like them. I actually fall in love with my clients, right? I can't work for people I don't like. And once or twice I've had that experience where there was a guy, I fell in love with his product. He made this amazing product, and he was an entrepreneur, and I thought, if we take this job, if we take this project and you redesign his website, I can learn a lot from this person, this business person. And for whatever reason, our personalities didn't mesh. It's not that someone was at fault. It's just there was a really severe, like, chemical mismatch between our agency culture and his business's culture. So when he asked a question that we couldn't answer, we thought that we were providing extra service by agreeing to find out about something we didn't know anything about and make a recommendation. And he thought we were being lazy or unprofessional because we didn't have an answer off the top of our heads. Just that kind of thing, that kind of mismatch. And we eventually stopped working on the project, even though we totally believed in the product, we loved the brand, and we'd actually designed an amazing website for his business. So for me, I can't work on stuff that feels inauthentic to me. It has to be something that I want to be connected with. We're working with a publisher who's blurring the line between traditional fiction and fan fiction. She's brilliant. She brought Harry Potter to the U.S., and she decided to start her own company. Like everybody who does this, she didn't know what she was doing exactly. She got some good advice from people, and then she went out there, just sort of jumped out the window to see what would happen. Brought a few smart people with her, jumped out the window, and I hope I have a company here. And it's working, and we formed a partnership with her. Not a business partnership. We're not part owners of the thing. It's her thing. But we're helping her evolve something really interesting that's part literature, part community, facilitated through the internet. And that's really exciting to us. That's something we can work on, and that's a motivation. It's not, you're never going to get rich working for publishers because they have less money than, let's say a very large corporation. They're not corporate. They're cool. Things don't go as smoothly with them as they would with a corporation. It's like working with musicians or painters. It's like they're so creative, and they bring out the creativity in you, and then there's sort of nobody taking notes, right? There's sort of nobody going, all right, so our 3 action items are, and then you realize that you're supposed to be the person doing that, but you're having too much fun to do that. So it's a little bit messy. It's a little bit like a band figuring out its set list. It's a little bit, but that's exciting. That makes you want to work, right? And so to me, if I don't love it, I can't work on it, and if I don't believe in it, I can't work on it. So, and that's sort of been, I left a good job as a creative director because I didn't believe in what we were doing, and the place wasn't doing anything wrong, wasn't immoral, wasn't unethical, wasn't stupid. They were making tons of money, but I just felt I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? It was like like realizing on a date that you don't want to see that person again. It was like that. Only it was my job, and that's when I decided to go out on my own. So it's like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this, and then I'll be in charge of saying yes or no.
Okay, and on that note, I have like some questions about collaboration, because the web allows us to be a lot more collaborative. I mean, just technology kind of in general has allowed us to be more connected and more collaborative, and that it fosters creativity, as you had just pointed out. And do you think that, and I don't even know the question, although the thought is coming. So, because of that, or do you think that has made us as a society more creative, more intuitive, more...
I think when I started working on the web in 1995, I thought, this is so cool, it's so empowering, everyone's going to learn HTML. And they'll all have websites, they'll form organizations, and they'll be able to meet people who are like-minded. People will be able to publish their stuff. Bands won't need labels. Painters won't need galleries. Writers won't need publishers, and everyone will learn HTML, and everyone will be creative. And that didn't happen. Now there are services that let people, very low threshold, right? Like, how do you use Facebook? It takes about half an hour to learn, right? So now everyone's on the web, but are people actually more collaborative, more understanding of other cultures? I think it's still not a norm. I think the norm is still passive acceptance of entertainment, right? I think most people watch a lot, in America, watch a lot of television. And, I mean, when blogs stopped being, I'm writing what I'm interested in, and started being responses to other people's thoughts, or I saw this movie and it sucked, right? Is that open-mindedness and collaboration and everything? It's definitely a form of self-expression, but it's not something pure and original. It's something derivative, and and I think that's still where most people net out right now with these technologies. I think most people don't use them to express a vision. They use them to chat with friends. It's almost like another way of hanging out with friends. So I'm less optimistic. I thought with globalization and with everyone having websites that there was going to be peace, love, and understanding between cultures. And then we had 9/11. And I'm like, oh, stupid American, wake up. There are people who hate you because you're an American. There are people who perceive your way of life as a threat to their way of life, and they're willing to kill you. And somehow in my delusional world, I didn't know that. I thought everyone was like checking each other out and learning about each other and all sort of becoming, and it was basically, what I had was a Western imperialist attitude without realizing it. I thought everyone was becoming democratic and human rights and women's rights and all that. No, and that's not actually what's happening in the world. What's happening in the world is, maybe that is what's happening, but it's taking 1,000 years. And so there's backlash and anger about that. Maybe that is one thing that's happening.